it's really a great pleasure to introduce Eduardo Minozzi Costa. Eduardo is a graduate student, PhD candidate at the University of Arizona in our amazing guitar performance program. And I first heard him play in this gallery as he and many of his colleagues in the department play in this gallery every Friday afternoon from 11 to 1. And that's open to the public, so those of you that love guitar, classical guitar, please feel free to stop by any Friday. You all have Eduardo's resume in front of you, and so I won't be too lengthy about it. But it's an extraordinarily impressive resume for a person as young as Eduardo is. I think that as I look at this, and as I look at the accomplishments of just the last few years, the Alhambra International Guitar Competition, which is the most recent of the awards, has resulted in numerous invitations to play in New York, Dallas, Portland, Houston, Boston, Austin, and St. Joseph, and other places. And one of those was in Carnegie Hall. As you look at this, there are numerous awards, and very prestigious awards. And from my own experience, the other day Jim and I were having lunch, and we were talking about another program that we did here. And while we were having lunch, Eduardo was recording in one of the back galleries. And we came back, and Jim came up to see how the recording was going, and I went to my office for a minute to drop something off, and I tiptoed up and I peeked into the gallery, and Eduardo was sitting there, and he had his hand around the guitar, and he had his arm down like this, and Jim was sitting there, and the recording was happening, and I was hearing this incredible sound. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, where the hell's the sound coming from? Because the hand is down here, and he's just doing this little thing with his right hand. And it was one of the most beautiful and melodic things I have ever heard. Eduardo.
Made a guitar for Segovia in 1937 that Segovia used for the next 25 years of his career and considered the best instrument that he had ever had. Galileo has an interesting history. He was a prisoner of war during World War I. And while as a prisoner of war, he had before that been working as a cabinet maker. And the commandant of the camp found out that he had woodworking skills and went to him and asked him to make a violin. Gave him a violin to copy. So after he got out of it was released, he started making violins. And he made violins and became very successful as a violin maker. He was winning international prizes. And then discovered in the 1930s the guitars made in Spain by Simplicio and Ramirez and Torres, and began to build in the Spanish tradition. In 1949, Segovia comes to his village in Italy and to give a concert, but his guitar needed a repair, so he takes it to Galileo to repair. This is the 1937 Hauser that he was playing at the time. Galileo takes advantage of this to make detailed drawings and study the guitar well, and starts producing a Hauser copy. The guitar that Eduardo is going to play was made in 1918 and has one unusual feature. It has a what's called a tornavos, which is a metal cylinder near the sound hole, which was thought at the time to operate like a megaphone and to help with the projection of the sound. This feature was fashionable from the 1880s to about 1930, and then that's fallen out of fashion. And was considered to be second only to Antonio Torres during the 19th century among guitar makers in Spain. His guitars are exceedingly rare. There's only 26 known to still exist. So we're very fortunate to have them.
All of these four beautiful, wonderful instruments are in a recording that I just did a few months ago, and the recording is almost done. We are now just editing the recording, but it's going to be available for sale very soon. And we encourage you to write your email address in there's a sheet of paper outside. So if you want to receive the dates about this new CD, I'm very excited to be playing these instruments because it's, as you saw, they're just beautiful. And in a recording setting, it's just, you can hear really well. But she'd like to just play a little bit on each one of the instruments, something short so you can compare the differences between timbre. Because sometimes when we play one guitar after the other, and there is generally like a small interruption, right? So we can see the difference between the different instruments. So I would like to play something simple, for example, just the beginning of one instrument. This is the Santos Hernandez. Hauser. This is a Galileo.